Good morning. This is KELOLAND on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
A reward is now being offered in the disappearance case of Rachel Cyriacks. The Woonsocket woman has been missing for 10 years.
Now the Attorney General's office says they're close to solving this case and believe a $25,000 reward could be the tipping point.
You believe you're closer today than you were 10 years ago?
Absolutely. We feel that recent news coverage, some witnesses that have come forth to interview with us, some additional searches, I think all points to we're getting much closer. We're obviously not there yet, but we feel the $25,000 reward for anybody that comes forth with assistance to gain a conviction will make the difference.
Anyone with information on her disappearance can contact the South Dakota Division of Criminal Investigation at 605-773-3331. A Monday night fire sent a woman and a toddler to the hospital. Sioux Falls Fire Rescue responded to this home just a few blocks from the Roosevelt High School just before midnight.
All 4 people inside the home were sleeping when a smoke detector went off.
Having those working smoke alarms is vitally important to just that initial detection and just letting people know.
Thanks to the alarm, a woman and 2 teenagers were able to get out of the house on their own. A firefighter went through a window to rescue a toddler. Authorities don't have any information on the child's or the woman's injuries. One woman is dead after a crash southeast of Harrisburg earlier this week. The South Dakota Department of Public Safety says it happened just before 6 o'clock Monday afternoon. A car was eastbound on 276th Street when it failed to stop at a stop sign at the intersection with Highway 11. A southbound pickup hit the car as it entered the intersection.
The 67-year-old driving the car died. A passenger in the car was taken to a nearby hospital with life-threatening injuries. The 21-year-old driver of the pickup suffered minor injuries. South Dakota's Highway Patrol is investigating that crash.
Now let's get a check of our weather with meteorologist Scott Munn. Good morning, Scott.
All right, good morning, Travis. Good morning, everybody. Another warm day today. Temperatures in the 40s, maybe a couple of low 50s in western South Dakota. We'll have a partly cloudy sky and light winds. I think this trend will continue straight through the first half of the weekend, and then it starts to change as we do get into Sunday and Christmas Day. More details on your KELOLAND Live Doppler forecast with Brian coming up.
Thanks, Scott. Several people were taken to the hospital after falling through the ice on the Rosebud Reservation Tuesday afternoon. Mission Volunteer Fire and Rescue says crews were called to the area for a report of 2 children who fell through the ice into Turtle Dam.
Officials arriving on scene found the children had been moved to a reeded area by a security officer who also fell into the water while trying to rescue them. Crews pushed a boat across the ice to the reeds and pulled the kids and officer back to shore. An 11-month study that compared January through November 2022 into 23 showed that violent crime has been decreasing, but has shown an increase in retail theft in Rapid City.
Now, some stores have a corporate policy that does not allow employees to report thefts. So the Rapid City Police Department is looking to work with them as well as others across the city.
And we are reaching out to those individuals specifically. But for the most part, this is not a area specific. I might be the North Sector Lieutenant, but this is not area specific to any specific sector.
The Rapid City Police Department has a team of investigators that will be working with retailers to better create a safeguard for them. The Turner County Courthouse had to be partially evacuated this week after it was discovered that trusses in the building sank 19 inches.
Everyone is safe, but several offices are closed, including the Clerk of Courts and the Register of Deeds. An engineering company reviewed the building and recommended evacuation of the east side.
Currently, half of the offices are closed from anything that is such as a courtroom on down.
People were able to still work in the western half of the building. The next steps could be determined this afternoon during a meeting with the commissioners at the courthouse.
That's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right. Well, here's an interesting setup here. We're going to talk about the forecast going into this weekend. And, of course, leading into Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So first thing right off the bat, this is Sunday. So this is the weather map as depicted right now. Again, there will be changes. We fully expect that, these moving pieces to the puzzle. But it's kind of an interesting weather map. We've got some systems here to the north. We've got one low there over near Hudson Bay. That's moving along. There's another one kicking out here in British Columbia. Then on the southern flank of this, we got a double barrel low, or at least one lead low that comes out of Colorado. And then the second one is back here over the Four Corners. Now, the complicated forecast, or what we've got to figure out, is how this all interacts here. Probably this low, the first one, that's going to give us a good chance of rain developing on Christmas Eve. And, of course, some of that will figure into the forecast for Christmas Day. There'll be some snow components. But remember, the systems to the south are really cut off from any cold air. We just don't have that. So we're having to really kind of scrape up what we can find here. Your higher elevation snows in the Rockies will be much more favorable. Now, the scenario, see this low up here in Canada? By Christmas Day or the day after. It's interesting to see the interactions between these because the modeling is trying to figure that out. It hasn't quite done so yet. I think that this second low that spins in Kansas on Tuesday, the day after Christmas, is still going to be somewhat of a player. So for post-Christmas travel, make sure you're paying attention because this one too could produce some snow, some wet, heavy snow on the backside of it. And then some ways or some formulations here bring that Canadian system, instead of going this way, it goes that way. And then the scenario even gets a little bit more messy, doesn't it? So it's not like we just have one system or just one front moving through. No. Yeah, and that's when you look at just the bare bones of the 7-day forecast, you might be tempted to think that, but that's not true at all. In fact, it's a pretty complicated scenario. So I expect that there will be a lot of things to add to this forecast. Kind of to wrap things up, though, I do want to quickly zoom into a couple of specifics here as we look at the setup. There is a little rain to our south on Thursday, mainly Thursday night, early Friday. So if you're getting a head start on travel toward Des Moines or Chicago or St. Louis, you're probably running into rain that direction. It will be warm enough for rain, though. It's not going to be any kind of mixed scenario. However, we get to the weekend. Now, this is Sunday morning. Now, that rain is going to come up from Nebraska, and then will it be snow like Denver, Rapid City, Billings? If you are traveling to the west or in these areas of the Black Hills, I would strongly keep that in mind. There's probably going to be enough potential here for some travel impacts, but we're still a little bit early on the specifics of that. So just keep watching it. And obviously, Christmas will just depend on how all these low pressure areas interact together. The odds of a white Christmas, or let's say Sunday through Tuesday, so kind of in that range there, it's actually a pretty good chance we're going to get some accumulating snow in southwestern and western South Dakota, in particular that southwestern corner. Sioux Falls, well, it's possible. It's not probable yet, though. It's still holding about 20-25%. So think of that as a 1 in 4 or a 1 in 5 chance yet that we'll pick up an inch of snow. Not going to discount it, though. It's still something we'll be watching, and I'm sure you as well. Oh, one other story. Did we mention all the 50s this weekend in Sioux Falls? That will set record levels if we hit 52 on Christmas Eve. And then Christmas Day will be a scenario of steady or falling temperatures. And again, that's all going to depend on how fast all that comes together on day 6 here. We've got Aberdeen. Remember, the northern counties will have less moisture to work with. So we feel pretty confident that whatever falls out as either rain or snow in Aberdeen, the total amount of water we have to work with is much lower. It's probably half as much as Sioux Falls. Pierre, you're kind of in the middle ground here. We could pick up some rain to snow. Again, that's the scenario there for Christmas Eve. And certainly the farther west we work toward Rapid City, we can pick up some slick travel. So we will be watching that here in the Storm Center. Stay tuned. More updates with our weather update this morning at KELOLAND.com.